Welcome, it's SVPod. I begin with chuckles. Stanford Steve is here. Red is here. I want to start with a thank you. Apparently, February was quite a big month of people consuming things, viewing things. We're out there on Facebook and Instagram. Why are you laughing at me? Why are you laughing at me?
I like our things are like you don't have a personal Facebook account.
Me?
Do you?
I don't. I think I had to start one 15 years ago to go to some event. So maybe I don't know. I don't do it. Instagram not involved, but we are the page out there. So thank you.
And that's the shortest month, so watch out.
Yeah, apparently we had the biggest numbers we've ever had in the shortest month. Viral content coming in March. Something. Well, I'll tell you what's coming today that's going to go viral, and I'm chuckling when we start because the big man's got fucking laptops and cards and shit everywhere because the list is here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're grinding on the list.
Fell asleep on the couch Saturday and last night.
That's commitment to the list.
Bad.
It's proprietary. What goes into it, only he knows. We could dilly-dally, we could talk about all sorts of stuff, or we could just start with a list. What do you want to do?
I just want to say Lenardi's a robot because I don't know how the hell he does it.
A fair point. I mean, I think on some level your stuff becomes, how do I put it? There's a lot of if-then, I would think, right? If Indiana beats Michigan State, then this. If they lose, then that. Right? I mean, I would imagine a lot of those things are just sort of, I mean, I don't figure he's scribbling it out in the margins. Maybe he is. No, I'm not doing that. Merlin. That guy, that Delco accent is incredible, right?
Yes.
I think he's the only human that speaks Lenardi.
What's Kuiper?
Baltimore.
All right. That's hardcore too.
For sure. But Lenardi's is different because Baltimore, Philly, the whole Delco thing, there's like I don't know. It's close. It's similar.
Can they not say like a long E?
Oh, by the way, similar isn't a word. I had a coach that used to say similar. I used to say irregardless. Neither are words. Anyway, what can't they say?
Like a long, like Mel when he says the National Football League, it's lig, like L-I-G.
I think a lot of people say leg. I think Hubie Brown, when he would talk about the NBA, would say, now, and the leg. Say that. Now, see, Gary Williams would always talk about, he's going to try to get to the leg. I think that was a South Jersey thing.
Okay.
South Jersey, Philly, Baltimore, there's all sorts of mutations of the English language being spoken there. But
it's so good.
Lenardi's a robot.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. Bunkered down, calling St. Joe's games.
Hawk never dies, dude.
Pretty nuts.
What do you got?
You want the list?
I mean, got to build to the list, I think.
Yeah, how do you want to do the list? There's additions and subtractions.
Well, I think we start with the list that was the initial list.
Yeah.
The initial list featured 5 from the Big 12.
Correct.
They were? Do you even know?
Yeah, I have it. Arizona, Houston, Kansas, Iowa State, Texas Tech.
That was the 5 from the Big 12. The Big 10 had 5.
Correct. Those were Michigan, Illinois, Nebraska, Purdue, Wisconsin.
There was no go green, go white the initial time, but it's your list. That's fine. So that's 5 Big 10, 5 Big 12, and then there was 1 from
Big East.
UConn.
Yep.
And 1 from
SEC.
Florida.
Yep.
So there were a lot of pretty glaring omissions.
Okay.
Well, I think Duke and Michigan State were teams that could win 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say those are glaring just because Those are programs I think could. But again, your list. And so those were the 12.
Yep.
Those were the 12. And you have March 1st, as advertised, gone in to look at the list.
Yep. I don't have a lab. I just have like a little white table I have in the living room where we just hash it out. So I don't want to. I know people that go into the lab take pride in going to the lab.
I think
I don't really have a lab.
The folks that talk about going in the lab, they just want to make it seem like they're working harder.
Yeah. I'm not trying to say that I'm outworking anyone. This is to have fun with. It's amazing how much people hate. But that's another conversation for another time. So the subtractions, Purdue is off the list. And as much as I hate to do it, I'm taking Wisconsin off the list.
Too
you
big
know, teams you just have a thing
too
like
big.
you see they're good and you're like you hang on to it longer than you do with other teams, maybe because you watch them or you like them or just certain aspects of it. Coaching,
their win in Ann Arbor is enough, I would think. Like, what's it worth to me? That's like a check that you can draw down against for the rest of the year.
Yeah, because
that's the best win, arguably, in America.
At Illinois.
Pardon?
At Illinois, they won.
Yeah, and that was a hell of a comeback.
And they beat Michigan State.
I mean, they got some dubs.
Yeah.
And you dropped them off your list.
I'm going to drop them off.
Okay. Is there a reason?
The idea of doing it 6 straight. To just what you were saying. Like, the wow factor is there, and, yeah, it'll probably come back and punch me in the face. But we're going to keep them off right now. So Purdue.
6 is a lot in a row. Purdue and Wisconsin have fallen off the list.
They have fallen off the list.
Okay.
And we will add Duke and Michigan State.
And that's it?
And that's it. I did have going back. I talked about the free throw thing.
Yeah, there were very few teams on the list that had that. Breaking news. Shout out to Homage coming perhaps this week. Got to make your fouls.
There we go.
That shirt is coming. And Steve's big hang-up on his collective list of the initial dozen was that very few were good free throw shooting teams. Illinois, I believe, was the one top 10 team in the country in making their fouls.
Look at you listening.
Love it. When you speak, I listen.
They have moved up higher. They are now 6th. And give me a team that's on the list, and I'll tell you what
Arizona.
they are. 152nd.
Got to make your fouls.
Mm.
Iowa State, dead last.
I believe App State is below them now.
No, I'm saying they're dead last on your list.
They're almost dead last in the country.
You cannot win 6 games like that. You cannot.
They're hanging by a thread.
I'm
300.
I'm telling you, you can't.
Love it. 337th.
No way.
Now,
look at Texas Tech last year. They had Florida beat.
Mm-hmm.
Had them beat. Dead to rights. What'd they do? Did not make their fouls. Lost a regional final game as a result of it.
Mm-hmm.
Got to make your fouls. Go ahead.
The last 10 national champions,
going
back, all of them were 180th or better. Okay? Last year, Florida, not great, snuck in there, 148th, 73%.
Yeah, right. That
Clayton was like 90.
But that helps frame it, because when you just hear a number, correct, 180, what's that even mean? 73, so basically 3 out of 4. But as we know, all free throws aren't made equal, because let's say the one of the 4 that you missed was a front end. Now you missed 2 because you missed the opportunity for the second.
Remember the days where it was always 1-1?
There was no ever. You never got to 2. It was forever 1-1. High level stress. Remember the old heads, and I'm talking to the old chuckleheads out there. You know what I'm going to say? NBA.
I don't remember this.
I do.
My uncles. I'm telling you, it was like one Christmas Eve. I was like 9 or 10 or whatever, and they're telling us, "Go ahead."
This is a real thing I'm getting ready to tell you, and you're going to hear me say this. And you're going to be like Red when he hears me say, "You want to do a podcast?" You're going to go, "Wait, Come again? In the NBA, you used to get 3 to make 2. Say it again, Scott. You had 3 free throws to make 2. So all you had to do was go 67% from the line in a trip to get the full extent of the most of your visit. 3 to make 2.
There was like a Christmas Eve, and we got a big old family, and my uncles are telling us, I got a bunch of cousins that are around the same age, and they're like, what? You got 3 to make 2? And you know them, like, they'd be imitating being the ref. All right, hey, no toes on the line. Here we go. Here's the ball. 3 to make 2. Here you go. I'm like, 3 to make 2?
I'm looking it up.
Oh,
I want to know
God.
when. I want to know when did it end?
And like
the
you
NBA.
said,
Wait a minute. This actually wasn't like in the 60s.
No,
it was up until the 81-82 season. Like Bird and Magic. 3 to make 2.
that's left out of the Lakers Celtics talks.
Yeah, they don't
talk
take you
about
back
that
to
one.
that.
They don't do it like we used to. 3 to make 2 on not the ABA, the NBA.
So
God, that must have been a brutal product.
not great.
Oh,
I mean, it was on tape delay on CBS. Like,
I mean,
the NBA finals were on tape delay, so wasn't the same level of consumption. Let's just put it that way. But the point that all of that side story was about is that when you hear you're 160th in the nation, that sounds like, wow, are they like in the 60s? No, they're in the mid 70s. But
yeah,
when you miss, ask Texas Tech last year, when you miss
339 schools. Florida was 148th. They snuck in. UConn was 76th and 33rd. Just below 180th, which is basically right around the middle of the pack.
Okay.
Villanova in 15-16, second. Love that.
It's a nice thing to lean on when the stress increases. So the only 2 teams that dropped were 2 Big Ten teams, and the teams that were added were one that I was stumping for, the 2 that I stumped for last time. Go green, go white. Big road win at Indiana on Sunday. They shot the ball really well there until the end when everyone missed. That'll be in bad beats. And Duke, Duke, you kind of admitted that maybe you were just trying to be a little bit of an agent of chaos.
I just wanted to prove something to myself, more importantly. Being selfish. I don't like to be selfish, but I wanted to be selfish there.
Okay.
And I think it worked.
Master motivator. They heard you.
Needed it.
They heard you in Durham.
Kids were going to the game.
They put the clamps on UVA, by the way, over the weekend. That Virginia team, Coach Odom's done a really nice job. They're good, but I went back and looked at them. Like, what's their best win? It's around that. This is around the time of the year that I'm looking at. Who'd you beat? There was some stuff I saw.
There was a great one. Did you see the worst quad 1 records in projected field?
That's exactly what I was going to hit you on.
I figured you would.
Well, because I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
That it's the fewest. There's fewest quad 1 wins among teams that are going to make it.
You want them?
It's not Nova's not is second to somebody, and I can't
Correct.
remember who's above them.
Louisville.
That's it. 0-8.
0-8.
Louisville's record against quad 1 teams is 0-8. They don't have one quad 1 win. Nova's is a little bit. How do I say it? Big East just isn't good this year. So you had 4 chances in that league. You had the 2 with UConn, and you had the 2 with St. John's. And you got St. John's off a rough spot where they missed their last 24 shots against UConn, and then you had to go into the Garden, and Pitino's wearing his Colonel Sanders suit.
You got UConn at home, too, off of the Creighton loss.
So you caught a bad one twice, and when you played your second against UConn and your second against Louisville, and they were beaten by double digits in both. But Villanova's going to make the tournament.
Correct.
But in your league, you don't have many opportunities for quad 1 wins, and they don't have any, and neither does Louisville. That's wild. Keep going.
SMU 0-5, Clemson 0-3, Texas 1-8, Arkansas 1-8. 1-7.
That surprised me. Because Arkansas was one of those teams that you said was hanging around. And if they finished with a flourish, you could add them to the list.
Yeah, I think just finishing off the list, and then we could go into
Okay.
BYU 1-6. We've talked about them a lot. And Crops, Iowa 1-6. That doesn't include a god-awful loss to Penn State this past weekend. But,
and another one, too.
Yeah, Snake Pit. Got him.
I mean, Iowa's lost to Maryland and Penn State.
Tough one.
Those are not losses that look great on the resume.
A lot on Sturge's shoulder.
I love that kid's game.
Yeah.
Love him. That's Bennett Sturtz, Iowa. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Expression never changes. He'll hang 30 on you.
Fears will be player of the year, right?
In the Big Ten? Almost certainly. Leads the nation in assists.
Can't give it to anybody from Michigan. I mean,
no, because how do you pick the one?
He was awesome on Wagler the other night.
Well, yeah, that length is a big.
I think the age gap too, maybe.
Yeah, Wagler's a freshman, and Yax has been around for a bit. Spent some time down in Birmingham. Now here he is in Michigan. That's a good call.
Yeah. But going back to the teams that can win it, I feel like it's kind of like the Monday Night Football theory, where that game is in its own window and everybody sees it. I feel like everybody honed in on Florida this week. And boy, did they show out. Game day was there. You have the lead up. They're trying to repeat. They were kind of forgotten about at the beginning of the year, starting 5-4. You get red hot Arkansas coming in. Acuff's got all the hype for player of the year. Cal said he should be a national player of the year. And they come out and they're up 16-11.
Charlie said to me, "Dad, I think they're going to lose." I was like, "Buddy, hang out for a little bit."
And it's just like hammer thrown with Florida. It's like, all right, we're good. We good? You guys we know who we're guarding here? We'll get into that one later. But Florida showed out in that window where it's like, yeah, a lot of people, I think, came to the mindset of, yes, the repeat is possible.
Welcome to the party. I mean,
yeah,
you and me have had our party hats on for quite a while. Last year, we were early on them, really early on them last year. Yeah. And we've been trying to tell you again, it's very different. Last year, they were incredibly guard heavy, and you got some guys that are in the league now from that backcourt.
Yep.
And as big as Michigan is, I was thinking about this for today because I don't want to say something really dumb. Because I watch Michigan, and it's like, all right, Yaxel's long, Mara's really big, Johnson's huge, like Cheddar's big as well, even though he's more of a like a stretch 4 type-ish kind of a guy. But just they're huge. They're huge. Florida's rotation of bigs, give them to me. I'll take them. Chenyolu, Condon, Hauk, and then my guy number 3, Hangloten.
Mm-hmm.
That's a guy that if he's on your team and that's your big and that's all you have, well, you just wear him out and he's really good. But he's just one of many that Florida has. And there's just wave after wave. And I'm watching it for obvious reasons. We're all Gators here. But after we put the boys to bed, and I'm just watching, and they are boat racing Arkansas. And Arkansas is, I mean, the record you just said, that's actually surprising. They're not great against quad 1 teams, but they're good when you watch them.
No doubt.
Well, they had nothing for Florida. Okay, nothing. Got beat by 34, got out-rebounded by 20. I want to say it was 51-31. I jotted it down somewhere on the card. And when people say Arizona, for sure. People say Michigan, obviously. You were slow to give Duke the credit, but that was actually the plan. There was a method to the madness. When you're asking who's the 4th, Iowa State, Houston, maybe they've had moments at Florida for me. Florida. Because you know what they haven't had? UConn had that moment at home where Creighton scored a bunch. Hurley's furious, called the defense was pitiful, lousy, whatever. Well, then they came out. They heard their coach. Mm-hmm. They put the clamps on St. John's to the tune of 40 points. Michigan really hasn't had a dud of a game. Arizona hasn't had a dud of a game. But Florida just, among the other teams that you're looking who should be included, in my opinion, it's them. Just because they lost at home to Auburn earlier this year. But mostly I feel like you see the good to best version of them most often. You know, I don't know if I'm explaining it. I feel like they play, especially in college basketball, you could get an iffy to marginal version of a team because they're kids, right? On occasion. I feel like Florida, I mostly feel like that is the good version of them on Tuesday, Saturday, whatever the windows are that they're playing.
Yeah, and I feel like with that Florida list, everybody really started trying to narrow down, say, their list. And I think teams or people, the average person, would be happy with their list being 4 of who could win a national championship.
Right.
And I do feel like the team that's totally off the radar, which I kind of love now because of the stretch they just went through.
Houston?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't give a shit what you say. You're going to have to beat them 1 billion times in March.
That's fair.
Like, you're just, if you haven't had to do it, just know what you have to do and go back and watch what Florida had to do.
Yeah, that was on the other day. God, the end game was just so unsatisfying. It was just such
it's brutal.
I mean, not in our house. They did not want to see a shot in the air at the end. I'll say that. I hear you.
You know?
Look, I don't think anyone's been bigger fans of Coach Sampson and the culture of his program than us over the years. I mean, I'm going to give them a ton of latitude and runway, even though they had that stretch where I'm like, I don't love what this looks like. But you know what? When they finally get out from underneath having this fucking round robin of Kansas, Arizona, road trip to BYU, Iowa State, just when they get out from under that and they see anybody from somewhere else, fine.
Yeah, poor Colorado got put in a tough spot.
They did. They had to go to Houston
11 a.m. Saturday morning.
And they've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
You're going to get put face first into the blender. And they did.
Yep.
And they did. What was I? I just want to make one point as it relates to Florida. I said last year they were a backcourt team. I'm talking about the front court because that's the strength. But Bland and Lee, the portal backcourt from Arkansas and Princeton, early this year when they're 5-4, and I'm looking at them, I'm thinking, wow, I get it. You got a lot to make up for from last year. I mean, you're not going to be that. But they found their way clearly. And I'm all in on them.
Mm-hmm.
All in. How much stock? Futures, long, all that.
Yeah.
Great to be.
The only thing I could think of is consistency behind the arc with them. But you're going to have to put them in that position. You're going to have to make them against all that length.
And you better make the first shot because offensive rebounds against that bunch, ball's theirs. Ball's theirs.
It's a lot like Houston, where you see in the last 6 minutes of a game, teams just tap out like, I'm not going back in there. I'm good.
I'm hamstring kind of tight.
I hate to use the language, but the only way I could describe it was, what did you think of the fuck you fest with Calipari and Golden?
I see both sides of it. If you're Cal, you look in the mirror and you see the Don. Right? I'm still me. And you're going to carry yourself that way. How many guys we put in the league, La Familia and all, I don't know if they still use that. That's what they used at Kentucky. How many $1 billion of guys went in the league? Okay. And he'll see himself that way until the end. Because you're not going to just wake up and go, yeah, I'm kind of average now. I'm me. Counterpoint, I'm golden. My ring's brand fucking new. We're a machine. We're stomping you out. And I don't know what was said, but I'm not backing down from you or anybody else. For what? I rarely do I could see both sides of it. But if you wanted to say, hey, we're going to do some role playing here, Scott, you're Cal, I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Conversely, all right, Scott, you're golden. Okay, cool.
That's more fun.
Well, sure, because you have a shiny trophy,
mm-hmm.
and you're the hot commodity,
and you got a loaded roster.
Yeah, you could run it. You could run it back and do it again. What led to that?
So it's actually something I want to get into because Maryland did the same thing yesterday, and it's getting to this point where they're using these reviews where, hey, could have been a flagrant here, right? So Chinulu comes down. I forgot the other kid's name, but he grabs the jersey, tries to get Chinulu off, and Chinulu's like, man, get off me, trying to get position, and swipes and hits the kid in the head. Goes back. The kid, that was his fourth. It's early in the second half. It is starting. The Swamp's on a roll. And Calipari's like, just take a look at that. He said, he got hit in the head. They go back. It's incidental, I think. And Golden's tick that they're in the midst of this, putting it on them, and this is their last cry, right? Like, we got to stop this momentum somehow, whatever. They go back. They change it. Flagrant one, and then Arkansas kid goes to the line to shoot the 2 free throws from the Chinulu hand to the head, and he misses both, and that's when Golden was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, all this bullshit you're trying to pull, we're going to whip your ass. Assistant coach comes in. You could see how can those guys go over to Golden. He's like, don't worry about me. I'm fucking good. I'm good. And he starts laughing. Like, you could just tell, like, we know what they're trying to do right here. It's the before the white flag is thrown, and then Florida just proceeds to go on another, I believe it was 10-0 run out of it. But it was, you don't see that a lot, but to your point, it was the new guy just being like the bravado, like, I don't give a shit who I'm coaching against, right? I got my squad, I got me, I got this place, and we're off a title and trying to win another one. Nothing's getting in the way. But it was hot and heavy, and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, because I'm in the process of trying to get people, like, trying to get folks to shut her down. I'm going to leave you the final score in the morning.
Yeah,
don't worry. So you come back, and I'm trying to put it together, and all I see is the woofing, and so that's naturally where I'm sort of like trying to pick up the piece. I'm like, like Golden's got that.
Oh, he's got a tick
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, he's like, all right, I'll just say it. He reminds me of me, maybe the skinny guy in the crowd that's definitely gonna lip. I see it, and I go, oh, you're that guy too, huh? Because I would talk mad shit because I was in a big crew, and I wasn't trying to start fights. I just wasn't going to back down, and I don't blame him.
And when it was rolling, you were times 10.
Well, I mean, you're home
10x,
and the ice is tilted real heavy in your favor. And you know what you got. You got a runaway train of a squad.
I did.
That was 5-4, by the way, early this year.
I appreciate Cal in the sense of he's losing it because he didn't like the way Golden was talking. And finally, the ref tees up Golden, and you see Calipari look at the ref and just say, thank you. That's all he wanted. He just wanted it to offset a little bit because he just thought he was getting the worst of it. But I just thought it was very funny, and I thought there was some flagrants overturned in that game, and I worry about it. But Maryland, the same thing yesterday. There's a dire straits moment. They're out down double digits, and if you're gonna act on a replay and you're gonna flail or flop or whatever on a replay in slow mo, like, it's gonna be a flagrant every time with these guys. They know how to do it.
Yeah.
And it's just a tough deal because when you go back and you have to assess it and we're taking time away, that's what's going to happen.
I just want to go back to Cal. You ever see these, like, National Geographic, the lion in winter kind of a thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's the old lion, scarred, battered, but it's been his kingdom for eons. There's a very, very proud stature there, 67 years old. You know, there's way, way, way more of the book in his left hand than his right hand at this point, right? There's not nearly the expanse in front of him that there is in front of Golden. And, you know, you went from Kentucky to Arkansas. And, you know, you got a team that's a tournament team. And, you know, you've got a guy in A-Cuff that's going to give you a chance and whatever. But you're facing the guy that just won a title. And you see the young hot shot. So you're going to roar.
Yeah.
Because you're that.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, you know, it's always incredibly moving to me. It's like when the old lions, like, they just walk away from the place that's been theirs for a long time. And it's heavy, man, because you're like, wow. All those years, you felt like all the land you saw was yours.
Mm-hmm.
And then now here's Golden roaring at you. You're like, son of a gun. It's not that dramatic, but I'm big on imagery and whatever. And that seeing those guys roaring at each other felt like that to me.
And this is the best part of this sport, too, is the same thing happened last year with Arkansas. All anyone did was pick apart the roster, how late Cal was to the party, and this and that. And what does he do?
I'm listening. I'm just getting a water.
I got you. What does he do? He goes, gets in a bracket. He's in the bottom of a bracket. He's got Pitino eyeing him up in the second round. Pitino's a 2 seed. They're going to play it in Providence. And he got his guys together and played their best game of the year and knocked off a 2 seed. And who was going to the Sweet 16 after the first week? So I've always appreciated Calipari because he is that the mind is still cranked and he's got more mind tricks than anybody. And a lot of these teams, I just looking at now this week, finally, we're going to the dance and we don't have to see these teams hopefully for 2 weeks. So I'm not counting. I really worry about Arkansas's defense. As good as Florida was.
111's a lot. That's the most points Gators have had in a long time.
And by the way, that game took like 3 hours with the review. Like, I turned it off because I wanted to watch the beginning of Gonzaga and St. Mary's, and there was 8.5 minutes left in the Florida game. I'm like, this is going to be forever.
Yeah, it was.
So
it was.
But yeah, Arkansas will make some noise.
They could.
It can make some noise too in the SEC tournament. I don't know how those matchups are going to be, but that'll be fun.
One of the teams you dropped is on my card that I wanted to discuss, and that's Purdue. I saw them up until last week, and I wrote this card before they lost to Ohio State on Sunday. And just a quick thought on that. There's no shame in losing on the road to a team that is on the back end of an incredibly weak bubble. I mean, holy shit, is it awful.
Oh.
Cal, Auburn, like, you guys lost at home to Pitt and Ole Miss. Yuck.
Auburn's like 3 games over 500.
How are they? What are they being considered for? Anyway, so Ohio State is in that mix of teams. Losing to them yesterday. Mobley's back for them. That's another capable scorer along with Thornton. You go on the road against a team that desperately needs a victory. Losing in that spot, fine. That happens in college basketball all the time. No issue. The big issue is you were the number 1 team in the country when the season started. And they beat the brakes off Texas Tech early.
Yeah, Bahamas and Alabama. Alabama.
Early on, you got those dubs that were like, ooh. So they're that's what they are. Braden Smith's back. Trey Kaufman, Wren, Fletcher Lawyer. These are going to be one of the most decorated class at Purdue ever. And as Matt Painter said when he was on me recently, we've won more Big Tens at Purdue than anyone. Little reminder in case you didn't know, but that frames what this class is. But that class, Steve, every good team in the Big Ten that's gone to Mackey has beat them. And you know how much I think of that place. Like, we're going to list the best venues in the sport. Fogg, Cameron, McHale in the mix. Hilton, sure. That you guys don't lose there much, although they lost this weekend to Texas Tech. How about their wins this year? You were wise, by the way, to not drop them off your list. You said, let's see what they are without Toppin.
Thank you.
Steve's a machine, too. But just look at Purdue. Look at their results in Mackey, which, in my opinion, is in that grouping of the best arenas in college basketball. A senior class that's been through it and won a ton. Starts number one. You get beat bad by Iowa State and Mackey. Then Illinois goes there. Wagler went for 40-some-odd, beat them. Michigan goes in there, beats them. They're up 18 at the half. Never threatened, beats them. Michigan State goes in there, beats them. I mean, 4 losses in Mackey is unbelievable. And it just feels off. You know, Braden Smith's doing stuff on Instagram, sending out Allen Iverson memes about practice, and people are like, what does this mean? Like, I don't know what it means, but I know what they aren't right now, and that's a 2 seed. When I see people listing them as a 2, like, are you kidding? It's not a 2 seed. Not close. People that are on that line should look scary. Like, they went on the road and they beat Nebraska and Iowa back-to-back. Like, that's the best that they've done. They almost lost at home to Oregon, who's bad. And they've lost to the best teams at home repeatedly. And so they're not in any way, shape, or form a bad team. No. Like, I'm in the tank for Painter and always have been. I'm just amazed that this team that has that much experience is trending this way with March coming, where they don't look like a threat to win 6 games at all. At all. Second weekend, of course. I mean, I'd be shocked if they're not that. And then once you get there, okay, hunker down, everybody gets on the same page or whatever. But if, and I'm underlining if, I don't know anything, but if you're not on the same page and it's March 2nd, you know what you're not getting in the next 2 weeks? On the same page. Just doesn't miraculously happen. So it's just really odd to see it look this uninspired and disconnected, because that's just not what I associate with Purdue ever.
Yeah, there seems to be a lack of toughness from Painter teams too. Like previous Painter teams, I said that wrong. Like this team, I went and watched them, sat front row against Maryland, and you could tell they had a road game, but they wanted to do some things. They ran their stuff. They got open looks. Everybody was making threes. It was great. They won by a billion. And then you see them
a billion
go moving forward, and it's like this team they don't look connected. I feel like he's still trying to piece together, who's the 5th guy when you play the 2 bigs and you have Fletcher and you have Braden on the court. Like, who's going to be the 5th guy? Do we need shooting? We need defense. We need a playmaker. They missed something there, but I thought Hummel was great yesterday when he said Braden Smith's got to look to score more. If he's going to have the ball in his hands that much and they're struggling, he's more than capable of doing it. But that's when you get into these truest sense of point guards, where it's not in their DNA to do that, and you're asking them to do it. So they're in a tough spot. I love Painter. I'm so happy he got to the Final Four a couple years ago. I was rooting for that. And you talked about it. Number 1 in the country in the preseason. Oh, man, Braden Smith. Did you hear what he was getting offered to leave and this and that? Nope, he's coming back. Painter's as good as there is. They got the 2 monster wins to start the year, and then slowly but surely – they've been caught off guard. And to your point about Mackey, I would think if I was a team in the Big Ten and I saw having to go to Mackey during the year, that's a loss. That's a loss. Not this year. To your point, the best teams have gone in there and scored. Like Purdue, Painter, those teams, they made it tough on teams, and especially yesterday, Ohio State felt like they got what they wanted.
Yeah,
so the connectivity, if that's a real word, I think is the thing that is lacking when I watch Purdue.
And for someone that has as much continuity as they have, that's what makes it surprising. When you got Smith, Coffin, Rand, Lawyer, like they've been together, and all these teams that are just mercenary, cobbled together for 1 year, guys have played 4 schools in 4 years. I mean, I get it if those people don't connect and add up because you come together for 6 months and then you go your separate ways. But to have been together for this long and just be trending in this direction, I don't know, man. It's just very, very, very strange to me. But I mean, you got a week's worth of games at Northwestern and home Wisconsin, one last trip around Mackey, but be careful there. I mean, Wisconsin's shown you went to Ann Arbor, went to Champaign, won and won. So I mean, I can't imagine them not going out victorious. Can't. The trend's is not their friend at the moment. You mentioned how the Arkansas-Florida game was bleeding into that St. Mary's Gonzaga game. Just want to shout a kid from Oakland, Mikey Lewis from St. Mary's, that put on a show. I looked it up because I knew he's had some scoring games, but 31, I believe, is what he had the other night, and a huge second half to get a win, and picked a great night to have a great night. Oh. And when I watch St. Mary's, that's a team that I'm like, they could win 2 games.
No doubt.
They could win 2 games. And really, that's what this is the conversation I feel like you and I have had for a decade. Your list is about, can you win 6? Mm-hmm. K, the genius, was like, it's 3 2-game tournaments. There aren't that many teams that are capable of winning 2. In other words, winning that first tournament and getting to next weekend. St. Mary's could win 2 games.
Yeah.
I think.
They're built like not a lot of teams. I mean, they got that dude at 7'4". Like, you're not. EK was struggling in there, and he's played as long and played. I'd love to know games played. Like we did that with Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels in college. I'd love to see this college basketball list. EK, I mean. I
watched him playing games at Wyoming, it feels like 7 years ago. I know it's not, but it feels that way.
Yeah. I mean,
Grant Foster's been playing college basketball seemingly for a decade.
And Baker Mazzara is no longer with USC.
He's 26 years old. 26.
It'd be fantastic to see that list.
Well,
because they play more games now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm thinking Ewing played 4 years at Georgetown, right?
Correct.
He didn't miss many. And now you got guys that are 7 years.
What are we doing?
Anyway. No, St. Mary's is interesting. The other one, too, that's monstrous because they start early. We'll follow the semis and finals next Monday and Tuesday. Is Santa Clara in that league. And you pointed out to the bubble. I watched Santa Clara put them in the tournament.
I totally agree.
They're so worthy of being in.
It's just I love that they run stuff and
you like stuff.
Well, so many teams that I watch, it just turns into high pick and roll. We spread it, and then it's just. If Gary Williams came back tomorrow and started running the flex at American University, they'd be a lot to deal with because you'd have to guard shit for 30 seconds. Instead of just high screen and roll, see if you can make a play. But Santa Clara, I just feel like offensively they're capable when I've watched them play. Ball goes in the basket. I like them. I say put them in.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. Compared to what's there?
Well, you've said that, and I totally agree. Compared to the 8th or 9th team in one of these power leagues that's gotten 14 chances for a quad 1 win. I mean, Santa Clara's only losses in this calendar year, I want to say, feel like they've been to Gonzaga and St. Mary's. Now, the point you could make is, well, those are the two best teams in the league. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But you could say the same about
I would expect both.
You could say the same about Villanova.
Yeah.
You could say the same thing about Louisville. They've lost to the good teams they've played, but we're not going to punish them if they don't have any big-time wins. So that's the end of Gonzaga, St. Mary's. They'll play again in Vegas one last time for old time's sake.
It would be fitting.
It would. Barnum and Flem on the call?
I would hope so.
God, I hope so. Yeah, I'm with that. I feel like I have a million other things.
Go.
Nah, I can't read I can't read my card. I have this, and it feels mean-spirited. I watched BYU play against West Virginia over the weekend, and my beef with them has been the same beef all year. I don't feel like they guard enough to win a lot of games.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're a second weekend team. I don't think they are.
That's fine.
But I do think it's a television show, and I wonder if they could slide far enough that somehow you could get get them like on an 8-9 line opposite of Michigan or in Arizona. They're not that low a seed. Their seeding should be higher than that, but never forget it's a television show.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you try to figure out a way to get DiBonsa on a Saturday night against one of these gigantic brand names. I mean, wouldn't be the worst thing from a ratings perspective.
Yeah, I mean, they're on that list. They're 1-6 against Quad 1.
They beat Iowa State at home, right?
Sports Center to follow.
That was us.
1-6.
Well, there you go. I know what it was. We're talking St. Mary's, and then we pivoted to Santa Clara. Gonzaga's seed line relative to what I've seen from them, I don't see them in being the type of seed that I feel like they are slotted to potentially be, which is ironic because there were years that I thought they were much better than their seed. Then once they became an accepted, really kind of blue blood program, given the number of times they've been a 1 seed, the number of times they've made deep runs in the tournament. But this particular Gonzaga team, when I watch them, I don't think that they're the type of team that's a threat to make a deep run.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because Fewey's always going to schedule everybody. Like if you go up to the beginning of their schedule, you got teams that normally are good. Creighton,
Oklahoma, Maryland. Yeah. Well, I mean, they
Minnesota.
beat right. Well, they beat Bama. Then they got smoked by Michigan. So did everybody. They beat Kentucky by a ton,
by a billion. So it's. I always say no one follows it anyway. It's kind of like a Midwest college baseball team going out early to play. Like an old Pac-12 school, or even like the smaller
Arizona
ones.
State, UCLA,
but like a Fullerton or a Long Beach State.
Okay.
But like those teams will have one-offs where like, yeah, they don't have any pitching this year, and you're like, oh yeah, we went there and won 2 or 3, and then those teams don't make the tournament,
Right.
So you're kind of playing with fire, but Fewey, to his credit, and he's always done it, is play everybody out of conference. So I think there was, it's not their fault. But it's like, oh, we beat that team, and you're going along, and you're like, well, that team's not that good. And then you get caught in this conference where there's not a lot of teams that are going to test you. So,
but to the point you're making though, like they've beat a bunch of people early, so I guess their seed line probably is going to be pretty high.
Yeah,
I just feel like when I watch them, and there have been years that I felt completely the other way, when I watched them and thought they're as good as anyone. I just don't feel like they have as many threats on offense that scare me.
Do you remember when they used to use the last 10 as like a metric?
Uh-huh.
Did you like it?
Yes, because I thought it was indicative of what they were. Now, you could make a point if your schedule is crazy backloaded and you went 6-4 or 5-5. Well, look at who we played, right? Like say it's Houston, Like, well, they're not trending in the right direction. Well, they played Kansas, Arizona, and Iowa State in a row.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? But I liked it.
I did too, and then it got into this conversation of, but then you're not going to weigh the teams at the games at the beginning of the year, and I'm like, no, that's not true. They played the games. You weigh them the same. We're just adding the last 10 because what I think is it clears up the bubble. Like we talk about these teams, Auburn, Cal, whoever, name them all, Ohio State. When you take that metric and you see like 5-5, it's like, well, you had your chances. You didn't get it done. Whereas like Miami of Ohio, Belmont, all these St. Louis, they're going to be like 8-2. Now, it's not against the same competition, but at least I have another factor of, you know what? They're still taking care of business.
Yes.
You know? Bring it back. Last 10.
I mean, the guy's got to
add it to the criteria.
Yeah, he's got a white table. He's grinding out numbers over. He's not just saying stuff. He doesn't have to call it a lab to be putting in the work.
Definitely not.
Acknowledge the sweat equity here. All right, so that's the list. 12, 2 new ones. 2 drop, 2 add. Still 12 for Steve. Is there a do we revisit again in 2 weeks when the bracket comes out or not?
We're having a real problem with Wisconsin off.
What's your
just
list?
Something about that team.
Baker's dozen. Make it 13.
All right. Wisconsin's on the list.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Have to.
You know why? I know why. Because you love Andy North.
That's true. And I need confirmation if that was him wearing a hat at the Oregon game, because you said no way in a million years he wears that.
I'll find out right now.
All right.
I'll find out right now. This is important news. Like, I don't think it was. Sit quietly as I say, were you at the Oregon game in a hat?
Couple other teams real quick.
Okay, please.
Kentucky.
What about them?
Would you say yay or nay to a Sweet 16?
Yes.
I feel the same.
Without hesitation.
I mean, they came out and poof. That was in a spot where they needed it, where it felt like a bunch of Saturdays now. It's like, oh, Kentucky's playing.
They gave it to Vandy.
Wow.
They're the same team that lost on the home court to Georgia. The thing about them is you can't spend that much money and not have talent, right? They've got talent. I'd say that they're the wild card. Like you have that group that assembles to maybe identify some teams you think could make a run.
Yeah.
Theoretical investments.
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to get Kentucky for cheap.
No doubt.
I hate the term value because it's become so co-opted by people that try to sound smart.
All underdogs are going to have more value than favorites.
I just think Kentucky's upside is rare for a team that people will say can't do it.
Yeah. Are they going to be like an 8-9?
That's the thing. I don't know how you seed them.
7?
I mean, if they're 8-9,
can't be a 10.
Imagine they're 8-9 and you're Michigan. And you got to play Kentucky on a Saturday or a Sunday. Hold please, North. No.
Darn it! Thought that was him.
Van Pelt for the win. Andy North in a hat. What are we talking about?
Silver Fox.
These guys don't have a clue. Yeah, no, Kentucky's exasperating to their fan base, I know. And you guys have been up against it throughout the year. But second weekend threat for sure.
Yeah. More than Tennessee and Alabama?
Tennessee, I'm having a hard time with.
Man.
That loss the other day at home to Bama in a game where it looked like you had it.
Ament never came back in?
I don't know. No, I didn't. That's concerning. Ament, you need to be.
Yeah, they're nowhere without him.
Because he's a lottery pick, and he's a rare type of talent that not a lot of teams have a guy like that. That's that gifted a scorer, where it's just so naturally easy.
especially them knowing the struggles they've had to score in the tournament, and he's exactly what you want, to your point.
Right. I mean, a couple of years ago, you had Dalton Connect. It was like a 40-point guy. So, I mean, it's not like you haven't had him, but Ament he's a giant difference maker. That was a really disappointing loss to me.
The whole game.
Yeah, and I think what I'm doing is holding against them that, right? Like, you lose that game, and I'm sitting here, and that's the most recent thing I've seen. And so it's hard for me to go, no, they're all right. Because the same thing I'm like saying with Purdue. When you lose at home, to me, it's a double. It's like counts for 1.5. In a loaded league, especially when you went to Knoxville and when they had to T-Town earlier this year when they had Bediako and you beat them. Right? That felt like an FU kind of a thing. So to lose to them without them in your building, not great.
Yeah, and I it's not fair, but I keep stacking Alabama up against what they were the last 2 years, where I thought they were way better the last 2 years. But to Coach Oates' credit, that stole that one. But that's a credit to them. Made plays down the stretch and got stops, and that doesn't happen with them.
Florida's winning it again.
All right.
They just look machine-like. I'm sure Michigan people like, what was that?
That's the game we need.
Florida, Michigan?
That's the one.
Boy, that would be just big on big, strong on strong.
We need that.
Foul trouble would be significant. Avoiding it.
If UConn wins out,
no
way Florida jumps them, right?
No, because they beat them head-to-head. It's the Notre Dame-Miami argument. I mean, different, but I suppose it would come up. We had Coach Hurley on last week, and I was asking him about Caravan, and he said he was going to be crying. And I sent Dan a note on Saturday. I was like, as advertised, I could see you doing that Danny thing, because he's that lip is quivering and he's tearing up, and you could see him saying to him, because Hurley's got to be Hurley. He's hugging him and he's crying and he's going, "You fucking suck," because he's trying to like still give him the coach, like. But I know how much he appreciates in this era where you don't get a run to get 4 years from a guy that could have left and was smart enough not to. Just because you can leave doesn't mean you should. And after a title with a very specific skill set, being a shooter, you could bounce and go to the league. Didn't. Could have after the second one. Didn't. So you and I were talking about this. Rafters, that's some really heady company. That's royalty to be in. I believe, not from the outside looking in, I believe that's a reward to a guy that could have left in an era when everyone does, and saying, look, you stayed when others might have left, and so you're part of this family, so we're going to put you up there with people. He's not as good as the people that are in those rafters.
Correct.
And that's not a knock on him. That's just look at who you're with. But I think it's a gigantic thank you to a dude for being a program guy for 4 years. And who knows? I mean, they could go on another run.
Yeah.
They could go on another one.
Yeah. To the staff's credit, thinking about it, I was just like, man, that's growing up there. I know that list like the back of my hand. And I was like, Caravan's never really been the best player on his team. But to your point, the game has changed. Times have changed. 4 years, two titles. Shot at a third. He's could enter Leitner territory. So I get it. I do. So it was really cool. Hurley is so criticized for his actions, and I would say 99% of it is because of in-game things that he does, whether it's to the refs or, just antics.
Antics is a perfect word.
And I just would say, Coach, it's all right to let your guard down, man. There's an awesome dude in there. And I so respect the hell out of him. I know that he needed that to get to where he is. It's been a long road when you watch that story and think about what he was growing up against his brother. But I know there's such a good dude in there that I don't want the antics during the game to overshadow it. And It's fine to let the guard down. It really is. Like, you could tell how much his players respect him, how good he is at his job. You talk about running stuff. Like, good luck to you when you see that you got to play them in the tournament. Because you want to talk about grinding it out. Look, we talk about Texas Tech and Florida and even Auburn in the Final Four, Houston against Florida and all the things that Florida had to overcome. UConn had them on the ropes in the 1-8.
That's so true that you always on the journey forget one game, because the Texas Tech, the point you're making, what they had to survive Florida late, you forget that Saturday against UConn, it took every single life they had to wiggle off the hook against that team.
Yeah.
And then, on the way out, Hurley, I'm pretty sure he said they fucked us.
Yeah, of course.
I've done a total 180. I mean, when he was at Rhodey years ago, I'm like, this guy's a hothead lunatic. You can have him. And I total 180 on the guy. And monstrous respect for
no doubt
a grinder, as good a coach as there is, and an appreciation and understanding. Being Bobby Hurley's brother was probably a pain in the ass. It was probably pretty friggin' hard to be him. Now it's pretty good to be him.
Yeah.
They could hang another one. We'll see. You and I could just do this till the cows come home. There's a ton of other things going on. Go ahead.
One more quick.
Please.
Do you think people have appreciated Miami of Ohio season enough?
No. I think that because we everything has to be either it's great or it sucks, and it's, well, look at who they played, look at the metrics, they're not this. I mean, I understand what Coach Pearl was saying. It was like saying they're not one of the best teams, and perhaps that's true. I just think in a season where the bubble's this bad, a team who's played and won all these games, I want them to be included in the tournament. And I understand now there's a significant injury to their team that impacts them in a damaging way. I don't care. And this isn't me shitting on Cal or Auburn, but I'd prefer to see it's a TV show, and I'd prefer to see Miami get a shot and have a tournament game.
Not in Dayton.
Correct.
Yeah,
put them on the line.
I just, and you talk about in a world like when you're at the top, you're getting everybody's best shot. And people say, all right, it's the MAC, whatever.
Like Napoleon.
There's plenty of
trying to conquer him. It's Boogie Nights.
Quality teams, players in there, and they're taking every single one of them. And I just, they're going to do whatever they want in that city forever. This season has been unbelievable. When you look at what they've done for that area, the arena, the road they're on, him wearing a Skyline Chili T-shirt underneath his pullover because he hasn't lost in it, the whole thing. I get it with the speaker, lost is cool. But as Coach Hurley would say, we were getting fucked. And they came out and they won at the buzzer, which just got lost, I feel like. It's awesome. They better be on the bracket and not in Dayton. And I appreciate that.
I agree. No other disclaimers need to be added. I agree.
Go.
I'm fine with a combine. Right.
That means you hate it.
I mean,
I hate the reaction to it.
It being served up as content to the degree that it is, I'm all set with that. I do love the players that go there and have you could change your trajectory based on going there and testing in certain things, particularly the 40, and feeling like you change the path of your life. That's powerful and that's cool. I said this to Kyle Brandt when he was on Sunday night on SportsCenter. Like, the next time it's 4th and 2 and we bring out cones and do a shuttle drill to determine if it's first down or not, will be the first. I mean, ultimately, a lot of what it is just a bunch of eye candy stuff. And it just fills our insatiable need for NFL talk. But like, wow, these tight ends, vertical jump. I mean, did you just get here? Did you not know that tight end's the best athlete on the field? Hello? Big man's been telling you that for years. Just pay attention. Not a secret. I don't know. I just get, it's fine. That's what I don't know what else to say.
Okay.
Am I missing something?
No, I just love your honesty.
Well, I mean, we knew Brennan Thompson from Mississippi State was a fly. I remember we had Dave Fleming on after they beat Arizona State.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that guy in straight line speed's the fastest guy in America. Well, then he was. The tight ends did test out insane. Sadiq Stowers, right? The guy from Vandy?
Yeah.
Among others.
Yep. But my point is being in that, and when you're in college, you do the off season, and you have to find some kind of motivation to make it fun, make it competitive. And to me, that's what the combine is. It's about competing. And that's what I appreciate about all these guys that went there and tested. And to see the first day, I think it's D lineman, and you see her like, do we got a fast clock here? I'm running. Like everyone ran fast times. And then you get all the way to Saturday, the most anticipated day where you have receivers, quarterbacks, running backs. 10 running backs ran. 10 in a class where there's the guy and then everybody else. That bothered me. The Styles guys, I can't get over how impressive what Sonny Styles did in that aspect of everyone talking about Arvell Reese.
I mean, he was about 4 or 5.
And
but I think he ran the same time as Cornell Tate.
No, he ran better, I thought.
Well, yeah, Reese might have been faster.
Yeah,
than
they
Cornell
both
Tate.
ran 4.46, right?
Something like that.
Because they got moved. That's what I felt bad for the other kid, Caleb. Yeah, Reese and Styles 4.46.
Pretty fast.
But I just want to say, like, I'm watching it and I'm thinking about it, and I just go back to working with Herbie and just knowing how good and dialed in he is. And if you go back, the Peach Bowl, Georgia, Ohio State, C.J. Stroud against Stetson Bennett, crazy comeback for Georgia. Ohio State's fresh off a loss in Michigan. I got basically called out of the bullpen. Felica was going to Fox, so Herbie called, and he's like, hey, can you be part of the broadcast? And in that, I'm in the truck, so I'm in his ear during the game, him and Fowler, just trying to help out. We're not missing anything. And so I go to the team meetings with Herbie, Fowler, Holly, Bill Bonnell, producer team, and I'm in awe. Like, this is it. And we're at the Ohio State team hotel, and you could tell there is a focus here because they just got humbled by Michigan again. And it's like, all right, this is put up or shut up time. And, I mean, go through that roster and look at the guys that are there. C.J. Stroud, Marvin Harrison Jr., Abuka, Olave. Like, it's dude after dude after dude after dude. And they, we get our 10 minutes with them. They're coming over. Ryan Day's like as dialed in as I've ever seen. And I don't ask one question, nothing. And they're coming to eat the meal, like we're in the room while they're eating, and the guys are coming over on the side. And Herbie points over. He's like, "Hey, see that kid over there? That's Sonny Styles. He's going to be an absolute stud. Like, when his time comes for the combine, he's going to tear it." I'm like, "What? Who's Sonny Styles? He's barely on the roster. Do you realize? Like, we're talking about?" He's like, Just notice. Just take note. That kid right there is going to be an absolute stud. Top 10 pick, the whole thing. 4 years ago.
He was on top of it.
Like, anybody wants to say what they want, but like, I was just like, Herbie, man, how the hell do you know that? But to show out and do that, I thought the interview with the mom was absolutely fantastic. Her saying that they named Sonny because he got into more trouble than the brother, and they took Sonny from The Godfather, and that's why he became Sonny. Like, that is just fantastic stuff. So there's so much good.
No doubt. And I don't want to have this misconstrued. The human element is fantastic. Mike Washington, the running back from Arkansas, that's what I'm talking about. Like, maybe you're changing your trajectory. Stacey Dales, who I've always just thought she's awesome from the time that she
was a baller.
Well, look, Google me. Check her out on OU. Hung numbers. And she's just fantastic. And able to, has great respect for the people and they for her. And so she's sharing like his story, and you saw him just move to tears. Like, work your whole life for 4.33 seconds. Think about that.
Yeah.
You get 4 point whatever seconds to say to the world, all right, here's who I am. And that's what he did. So I'm all for it. I just, after days and days and days of it, it all kind of blurs into what's your 40 time. Well, ultimately, like when it comes to Carnell Tate, he didn't run fast. You know what I'm going to do? Put on the tape. I'll put the tape on. It's 17's open. Now I get it. Throw the ball to 4. Well, 4's on one side, which means maybe the best corner's over there. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, all I know is 14 made incredible contested 17, I should say, made one contested catch after another and was great. So he didn't run as fast as a couple of defensive ends from his school, or linebackers, if you will. All right. I'm not scared off that guy.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. It seems like it's the same thing every year where it's that guy. He didn't run the time. What are you going to do? And it's like, all right, as the data builds, it's great. Like, look at him and look what he's run faster than, like a Devontae Adams. I think he's had a pretty good career. To your point with Carnell Tate also, the other guys in that room I just mentioned from that team, Marvin Harrison was the guy. Olave, when healthy, pretty damn good NFL receiver. Ibuka, pretty damn good receiver when he's healthy.
JSN's decent.
Didn't even play. But I'm glad you brought up Washington, because he's a kid that I had my eyes. Everybody made a point of New Mexico State with Pavia and Eli Stowers also coming from there. Mike Washington, I believe, played 3 years at Buffalo. Not the Bills, the Bulls. Buffalo.
Go Bills. Go Bulls.
Goes to Las Cruces, plays a year at New Mexico State, does something there where catches the eye, gets a chance, gets an opportunity to play in the SEC, has a great season.
He was really good.
And then you, to that point, you get an opportunity to show out what you got at the combine, and that's what I think. The opportunity and the idea to compete, and he goes out and does that, is just absolutely awesome and should be commended for that. And I hope he opens some eyes and it helps him in his future, because he's an unbelievable talent, and you just look at that road that he's taken. So taking that opportunity and making the most of it, that's what I love about the combine with guys that just take it and go.
Okay. I've been to Las Cruces, New Mexico, by the way.
Golf?
Nope. NCAA tournament when I was like 8 with my dad. True story.
In Las Cruces?
There's no H in there. It's Las Cruces. Las Cruces, New Mexico. I went there. Little VP.
Not Albuquerque.
Nope. Las Cruces. And Maryland beat Notre Dame and Digger Phelps, and then they lost to Louisville to go to the Final Four. I was like 8. Like 70, whatever it was. I got some pictures somewhere.
Did Louisville win it that year?
No. I don't remember who won. I blacked out after we lost.
What year? 74?
74, I want to say it was.
Come on, Jack. Find it. What was there, 16 teams in the tournament then?
There weren't many.
UCLA had a bye to the Final Four?
Probably about right.
Basically what it is. 74.
Las Cruces, shout out. We can look.
How was
up.
the gym?
I just remember Digger was wearing like a white suit, and people were calling him the good humor man.
No plaid?
The 70s, bro. Stuff was different.
Everybody just wore plaid.
We have breaking NFL news. David Montgomery's been traded to the Houston Texans.
For what?
I don't know. All I'm thinking about is fantasy. Gibbs becomes the guy in Detroit. Montgomery, RB1 in Houston. There you go.
Wow, Woody.
That's a good point. Woody Marks was very good this year.
You got the bell cow now, though.
I guess. Can I pivot to the NBA?
Sure.
We talked about this the other day, like last night at work. I've never seen Joker that mad after Dort tripped him. And all I could think when I saw Joker's face was if it was like a wrestling promo and all of a sudden his brothers came running out of the tunnel. And I think that'd be the worst thing that could happen is if you had multiple Jokers running mad and were angry at people. He was pissed.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. Don't trip me.
Well, it goes back to earlier in the game when Shea threw the ball at him. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's not great.
You know?
How many teams in the West do you feel like are a threat? I got 5.
5?
I go all the way.
Lakers?
No, I don't have the Lakers on the list. I got OKC, San Antonio, and San Antonio. I'm just going to admit openly, I have a question. Like, can you go from? This is like you in Nebraska. Can you never have won a tournament game and then win 6? You're saying they could.
You got to find your Fernando Mendoza.
That's a great analogy. Well, San Antonio collectively has 0 playoff experience. I mean, I think they found their Mendoza and then some in Wembanyama. But I've got OKC, San Antonio, Houston, Minnesota, Denver. I mean, threats. I'm saying threats. They're threats.
I think it's OKC, San Antonio, and Denver.
Minnesota and Houston, no thanks. No bid.
The
entertaining,
Houston
but not a threat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks that they lost that game and they don't have. I mean, I say this about every single team with not having their full lineup. But Denver, with what those guys have, like you're starting to see Christian Brown get back into it. Bruce Brown was a great, getting him back was huge.
I agree. All I can think of with Brown is when my guy Malone was hammered going, we're going to run this shit back. We're going to run it back. And Brown was like, no, I'm going to take some money and leave.
But knowing how good Aaron Gordon could be, and I it might be 5 games he and Joker have played together, but I like Denver is not going to back down. And that's the one thing where I think last year you saw teams trying to deal with the onslaught of the roster that is OKC. And to their credit, they haven't had their whole lineup at all this year either. But there's a sense of we know what we're getting from the opponents of OKC. We know what we're getting. We know what we got to deal with. Shea's going to get some calls, but we don't fear them. And I think you saw that with Denver Friday night, which was really impressive, even though they lost. And San Antonio is just, I don't want to say the outlier where they have all these things, but when you watch them, man, Castle is a problem. And everyone else knows their roles off of them.
I didn't know coming out of UConn. I didn't know what he'd be, but he's one of those guys that just impacts winning with all that he does. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you need him to make outside shots, he's going to do it. Need him to defend, need him to bring the ball up, need him to get into your offense, everything.
I feel like it's a sports, but specifically that one, it's uber specialized, and he's not. He's just, like I said, impacts winning.
Strong, too.
That's because he's willing.
Yeah.
to take on whatever and whoever. God, I love that.
Love them.
All right. I have a longer list in the West than you. In the East, I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. Because Detroit, I love that Cunningham is exactly who we thought he was at Oklahoma State. Because, pardon?
I am so wrong.
That you didn't think he'd be this. Yeah, because I was afraid. I think I was just scarred from Ben Simmons that people that went to a school and then didn't have a giant impact on him in college. That if you didn't have a big impact with your 1 year in college, that I thought less of you. I'm just admitting that. I didn't think after that year in Oak State, I didn't think he'd be a true superstar like this, and he certainly is.
Yeah, I never saw any emotion.
That's what scared. That's exact. You said what I didn't figure out how to say. The thing about Simmons that always bothered me is he's like, I don't know that he cares.
Yeah,
I don't know what he cares about.
He gave off the idea that he did not care,
and that really is troubling. And it's not the case at all with him. Like Cunningham's a leader, and willing to do whatever, and impacts. I mean, we had the highlight on SportsCenter Sunday night. Was it 29 and 15 or whatever? And it's like easy. And that series last year with New York was bananas if you go back and really dissect it and how close it was to being something totally different. But like, if Boston gets Tatum back, then I just assume it's them. Is that just too is that too convenient?
See, I'm scarred with Boston because I still go back to when they lost. They didn't even make the finals. And you saw, what was it, 3 games straight where they couldn't shoot the three. They're so 3-ball
dependent and stubborn. Like they could be horrible. Like, nope, we're just going to shoot 60 of them. Don't give a shit.
And it didn't work
at all.
I think Detroit is valid. So valid. The one team, I don't think the Knicks can do it. I can't rely on Towns. Cleveland, if Harden's healthy, it's just a dynamic I haven't seen in that conference where they could bomb you from threes. They got bigs that could play. Mobley's getting better. He's healthy now.
I like the Mobley Allen combo. I really do.
It's just a matter of trying to figure out who got caught in it last year. It ended up being a demise. But it's at that level, it's so tricky when you're trying to play them, and you just keep getting caught in those pick and rolls.
But you're saying Detroit, you said valid. I like that a lot. And you don't trust.
I take Detroit over Boston with Tatum.
Okay.
And I think Cleveland's the next.
They're the
Knicks don't do it for me.
Understood.
But those Wahoos will be outside the Garden. You know that.
Celebrating. Look, I mean, you don't have to apologize to anybody. Celebrate series wins and whatever else.
And shout out to Nick Nurse for handling that place.
Choosing
it's a
words.
Hell of a coaching job.
There's a lot of moving parts. Let's put it that way.
Great way to put it.
I mean, I don't know how they all fit together in a way that it feels like at any moment the whole jalopy could fall apart. But when it's put together, you're like, no, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah, that guy coaches ass.
I agree with that.
Can Charlotte get to the... I just want to see Charlotte in a series and not have to play in the play-in. What are they? They're 4 games back of the 6.
One of our producers is asking me about Con Knipple. I'm like, having him on. I'm like, hell yeah. He's already set a record for rookie threes.
Yeah.
I had no idea that he'd be this.
Flying Knipples, dude. He's brought up for it. Wait till you see the rest of them.
There's 20 of them.
Flying Knipples.
I got it, but I did not know that he'd be this.
I'm biased. I loved him. He's one of my all-time favorites at Duke.
Come on.
Oh, are you kidding? Watch him. See what he did without flag in the ACC tournament last year? That's where it came out to me. And he didn't get bodied against Houston.
All-time favorites?
He's on the list. Long
in
list.
A year?
Yeah.
I guess the fact...
What is it? The last 10 years.
Yeah, I guess anymore. You just, especially the brotherhood, you like summer camp, you go hang out for go and hang out for a year, not even a year, six months, and then you're gone.
Must be pretty good. Cooper Flag came during All-Star weekend. Hung out for a whole weekend.
For the brotherhood.
Yeah.
I can't knock them for becoming what they've become. Just funny because they had such disdain for Kentucky doing it, and then they're like, oh, we should do that, and then be better at it. Duke, I mean, my God, it's incredible. I get why anyone would want to go there. It's a remarkable spot.
Charlie and Sam?
Be thrilled for them to. Or,
that would be so awesome.
What if my children went to Duke?
Oh man,
of course I'd be thrilled.
I now
for
have something to live for.
the hopes that my children.
Lord,
it's a tremendous university.
Yeah,
you think?
And there are years and years and years of hatred towards that university.
It was just, it's long. It's in the past. It's in the past. Kidding me? Hey, my guy, my roommate from Maryland, his kid's there at Duke.
Yeah?
Yeah. My guy, Dr. B. I mean, how bright are his kids? One went to Harvard, the other went to Duke. Like, my God.
Just double that up. Charlie and Sam both at Duke.
I mean, this is a guy who's a physician at Mass General. This is obviously
NBD.
And he
was your roommate?
Had to live with me.
Jesus.
I mean.
What is wrong with that guy?
What is right with him is the correct question. He overcame this circumstance to ascend to incredible things. Couldn't be prouder. Just an absolute.
Like fraternity roommate or?
No. Not involved.
Like dorm.
No. Started dorm and then became apartment.
Actually, he chose to continue to live with you.
That's a great way of putting it. Knew what he was getting.
Dr. B.
Knew what he was getting.
We need to talk.
And did it anyway.
Meet this guy.
Bloomfield, New Jersey in the building.
Oof.
What an absolute tremendous human. No, do you think for a second that I would forbid my children?
Yes.
Stop
I
it.
do.
To go to one of the best universities in America. All because of something that happened in the 2001 Final Four when we got the worst whistle anyone's ever seen. All because of that? No, I mean I'm sure that Boozer didn't foul anybody, but Lonnie fouled out. I'm sure that's true.
How many were you up?
17 early. It's all right. Next year, cut down nets. Wouldn't have been as. You know what? It would have been sweeter if the only thing that would have been better is if somehow the path would have involved them. But
the world. Oh,
Jay Will missed some free throws against IU. But whatever. Like I'd be thrilled for my children to go there. Come on, I'm not.
Let's make it happen.
Speak it into existence.
Please.
Speak it into existence.
They gotta get to go to camp this year.
What camp?
Duke basketball camp.
Send the kids there?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
I mean, get them in the brotherhood.
Oh, they look great in that blue.
Might be, I don't know how much that would be allowed. At least at this age. Man, come on, we get you something else. As it is, Florida already, this NIL package they put together last year was excessive.
Brotherhood, dude.
Understood. I don't even know what else I have here. Oh, I want to say how I thought it was awesome. We talked, was it last week we were talking? Last week was talking gold medal stuff? I feel like it was.
Yeah.
God, things go so fast. The reception for Hughes in New Jersey was understandable. But then to see him go to Pittsburgh and get a standing O in Pittsburgh, just the reception around the country was awesome. Then shout to Saturday Night Live. They bring the Hughes brothers in, but then they had Hillary Knight, a couple of the women from the women that showed up, and they're like, well, it was supposed to just be us, but we thought we'd let the guys come along. Good for them for taking something and turning it into just dismissing it, and not allowing it the moment to be co-opted by anger or whatever. They were just like, pfft. I think it's clear we had Hannafin and Eichel on, and they shared how the closeness of the bond that they had, the men and the women's side. I think the reaction from those two teams and the reaction from the populace to those teams has been fantastic, and just love it. Love it. Apparently it's snowing outside, Steve.
Really?
That's what I've been told.
Where do we live, in Denver?
It's a great question. It's supposed to be
How does this happen, weatherman? It's 33 degrees outside, and Saturday it's going to be 81.
Nude. Just nude people in the streets of Bethesda. If it's 80, people will be...
Oh, it was... What was it Saturday?
It was about 60, and people had tops down. They were letting it rip.
We went to the brewery. It was like Woodstock with strollers and kids. Beers were flowing. Oh. What? I gotta get the shovel. I put the shovel in the basement.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm at a loss to explain this one. I mean the
GFS Euro. Damn.
Look at them just spitting.
Where are they?
They're just, we've got...
What are they, on spring break?
No, the warming's going to happen. We got a little injection of cold air.
Where does that come from?
Canada.
Always goes back to Canada.
The polar vortex, things of that nature. I don't know, man.
How long does the polar vortex last?
It's gone.
Why is it snowing?
Because it's still March. Going to be brief.
It is March.
Could be a dusting. This is March. Could be a dusting. Then it's going to warm up. But then don't be tricked, because mid-March, maybe one last swing at it.
Come on.
One last winter. All right, Red, here.
All goes back to that.
Have a bottle.
Thing that comes out of the ground.
Your boy.
Yeah.
Punxsutawney.
Brutal.
Red has reached his max. We're just going to start chewing the bottle. What else is on your list before we let people go about their business?
Wisconsin's on the list.
13 teams.
What did I have?
So the only team that left was Purdue. You added Michigan State, Duke, and dropped Purdue. That's rough.
You only have like 4, huh?
No, I mean it's longer than that. It's definitely longer than that. UConn could do it.
5.
That's 5. After that, it gets dicey. Houston
or UConn?
That's a great question. I think push comes to shove, and I'm gonna trust Kingston and Sharp and who's on. I'm gonna trust that backcourt.
Imagine that game in a bracket.
Absolute.
Holy.
Absolute.
Good luck to the officials in that one.
Brawl. I still like Illinois. Michigan State, they shot it better on Sunday at Indiana than I expected to see. I mean, if Kerr's going to make shots like that, Fears shot it more than I expected to see him shoot it. I think teams are going to let him shoot. They'd much rather see him shoot than facilitate, but they could do it. Kansas is the one I'm like, I don't know about them right now.
That run they made at Arizona Saturday impressed the hell out of me.
What, to go from like 18 or 20 down to get it to 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they got smoked by 20-something.
But steps, dude.
Stay in the fight?
They're going to be a 4?
Apparently. Valid?
Oh,
valid 4?
There's plenty there.
Okay.
Plenty.
Okay.
They might be the ultimate team that just needs to get out of their conference.
Yeah, I mean, I think
there's so many of them.
I can't remember if it was Bill that said that, or maybe it was Boog and Fran when they joined us after a game. I especially like the last 3 weeks for Houston. I'm sure. Again, just even if you see a good team from someplace else, I don't care. I just don't want it to be someone we've spent the last 2 months playing against.
Mm-hmm.
How's that bottle, Red?
Question.
Yeah.
Your sons are playing ball.
Yep.
The jerseys they wear.
Yep.
Do they have numbers on the front and the back?
Yeah, they're reversible.
I know, but they have numbers on the front
and the back.
Okay.
No. Numbers on the back, not the front.
Why? What are we doing?
Because you just look at the back and you can see the number.
But then they have to turn around, and then the whole team turns around, and the ref says, I need to know your number for a foul. But most importantly, Scott, the team you're playing isn't going to turn around every time so you could see their number to know who you're guarding. We need numbers on the front and the back. We have some issues at the 6 and 9-year-old level.
Identifying their man.
Identifying and retaining and remembering who you have. I think it'll just help things a lot for everybody involved. The referees,
I think
players.
I think it can help if there's no numbers. If you just look at the shoes.
How do you explain these shoes the kids are wearing?
I don't know when we stop wearing high tops. My father, rest his soul, would be just despondent that my children are out there just in, like, Charlie would play in slides if you let him.
Yeah, we have these awful Ugg slippers we wear to the game, and they're no more. Those stay in the house. They have no backs on end. They want to go out and shoot like pregame or at halftime of their sisters' games.
Sure, I got it.
And you're just, and they're those, where are they? Oh, yeah, the ones on the left. Yeah, they're so bad.
You got like a mudroom cubby situation? Just over?
No, it's just our whole house. They just throw shoes all over the freaking place.
I think.
And then you know what happens when we go out?
Can't find the shoes.
Can't find the shoes.
Nope, don't know where the shoes are. I think my children got from their mom. It's an amazing skill / character trait. They walk in the house and they eject socks off their feet.
Oh, socks are totally different.
Just everywhere. Socks. I went downstairs yesterday. I came up with 12 socks. Like
singles.
There were 10 that matched, and there were 2 randoms. But Charlie will wear.
Wow, that's good.
I was amazed.
That's a win.
Yeah, but that 8 of them were all the same color, white with like a gray toe and heel.
That's my point.
To get all the same pair, just buy 36 pairs of the same sock. That way, we never have. I'm with you. But we've covered this.
Yes.
If you have 2 socks, you have a pair of socks.
Oh.
I don't give a shit what color they are. Doesn't make any difference. Charlie, thankfully, doesn't. He has no issue with that. Middle guy, he wants them to match. Well, then you know what, buddy? Keep track of your fucking socks. How about that? I don't say it to him like that, but that's what I'm thinking. How about don't chuck him? Walk in the house and just chuck him everywhere.
And how about turn them right side in?
I don't care about that.
Never. Well, doing 6 loads of laundry yesterday.
Yeah.
That's what my time was turning socks right back to right side in.
We've covered this. My feeling of joy when I find out a match for a sock is basically unmatched. If I'm on the hunt for one, like, oh, here's a Washington Commander one. Where's the other one? No one knows. I find it. Yes. Feel great about it. Doesn't happen much. We have entirely too many shoes and socks.
Yes. I'm culprit too, but I always have matching socks.
Well, you have 82 pairs of shoes, as we covered last year.
Mm.
Been adding to that?
Almost did the other day. Those new the Nike Vomeros are so good. Comfortable.
I don't even know what that means.
They're the Nike versions now that look like the Hokas. Yeah, right there.
Okay.
They're fantastic.
How many pairs of shoes do you have? I mean, why do you need those? You just like them?
Oh, they're so comfortable. Be like a bounce. No? Getting older. Anything.
Declining
a little life.
Declining athleticism.
I'm going to be featured on Bad Beats tonight.
You are.
One of my wagers.
Okay.
I had Shane Lowry.
It was a tough one.
Then you hear him talking about his 4-year-old daughter.
And you don't feel as mad at him?
I wouldn't say mad. It's more disappointment.
Top 30 player in the world, major champion, 3-stroke lead, 3 holes to play. Double, 16-17.
Take a drink.
That's a tough one.
Because
it's hard to win golf tournaments, dude. Really, really hard.
Do you think the wind played a factor?
It couldn't have helped, especially, I mean, if you have doubt. You know what? You hear guys say this, and it gets cliche, but it's really true. Particularly in the wind, you got to commit to a shot and a swing. Just commit to it. For him to hit one that gets kind of leaky and weak and short right, that just feels like you just don't commit to the shot.
Follow through.
Something like that. Something like that.
That was brutal.
Not great.
Plus money.
I'm sorry that happened.
Ugh.
We'll be down there at TGL. We'll just tell him. I'll tell him, Shane, my man had you plus 158 Sunday. What are you going to, let's reach into the pocket and peel off some hundos. Make it right.
He did try.
It wasn't a matter of not trying.
No. JT's back this week. This might be 11 years. Is this 11 years of SportsCenter?
Of our show?
Yeah.
I think.
Remember when I went down? This is it. Bay Hill.
When you went to Bay Hill and told us the report was, tell them what was the report.
Rory was hitting it firm.
Hitting it firm. What does that mean?
God, it's over a decade.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
About golf?
No clue.
Yeah, but it didn't matter. We just set you loose.
And then I had a half hour with Andy North and Rinaldi on the putting green and all these. I'm like, this is what happens? You guys just talk to the guys?
Yeah. And then, was that when you talked to my man Ernie Els?
Oh, yeah.
Cuzzy, let me tell you.
Monster.
You can't believe it. He's an all-time beauty.
Yeah, Bay Hill.
That's great. That was 11 years ago. We got a meeting tomorrow about the 5.
Oh.
We'll see. See what happens.
Who's we?
Me. I do. Get a little, little see what we got.
We, not me.
I mean, you can come. I figure
catered?
I mean, we're just going to have a lunch.
There you go.
You're more than welcome. I think you should come be my muscle.
I'm in. You know that.
Just give them some reckless eyeballing.
I want to be your muscle going to your kids' games. I want people taking shots.
At who?
You.
No one's. What? I don't need any security. We're fine.
All right. Do you play at schools that have bleachers?
Yesterday, yes. The
Where are you at? Silver Creek?
I don't remember the name of it. Where'd we? Hold on.
Silver Creek's got bleachers, but we're in the 6-year-olds where we play at these gyms that don't have.
We were at Newport Mill Middle School. That had bleachers.
Okay.
But the elementaries, you just sit around the wall. Feels like kids are going to run face first into ceramic tile.
We got that, and it's we play the side. It's 6-year-old hoops, girls. And so there's no bleachers. And there's just families, and then there's grandparents that want to come see the kid. We totally get it.
Love it.
But we have a family that just set up at half court in between the games, but they spilled. There's like 9 of them, and they decided to sit down, crisscross applesauce, and then they got their Starbucks and their Yetis and their Owalas and their, give me another one, Stanleys.
There you go.
And
on the floor?
We got a squad. We're up and down. We get up and down.
Get it and go.
And I wanted the ball, just somebody take a ball and just roll it right into the family. It would have been like bowling. You can knock all the Stanleys, Starbucks, all over. I'm like, we're trying to play a basketball game here. It's literally 4 8-minute running periods. We're out of there in a half hour. And they just come and set up and sit on the court. Stand against the wall. There's plenty of room. Put in your half hour, and we go.
Pretty straightforward.
You're cutting area off for my kids to run around. Your kids. Think about what you're doing.
Don't encroach on the space.
We want to run them into the ground.
And there's
lines on the court.
It's an up-tempo squad.
You can move. The lines can't.
I can't add to that.
Have you seen it? You know what I'm talking about.
Mostly, I'll give the parents in the games I've seen credit for just standing up against the wall.
Maybe
saw one dad
need you to come and rec shop.
I saw one dad that was reading to his other one daughter. And the ball came bouncing towards him, and it just never broke stride. Just kept being an awesome dad and reading the book to his little girl. I'm like, look at you. Applaud that.
Standing.
Nope, sitting. But it was in the end zone area where there was much more space than the wall, because there's insufficient space on the wall for sitting and putting cups and things of that nature. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
These are people with non-ball knowers. Ball knowers would never do that. Oh, God. Imagine the looks next week when Steve just shows up and gives him a look. Like, run the pod. Tighten it up.
Oh, they know who they are.
Of course they do. Well, I hope they're listening. Just stand. Don't bring...
Half hour.
Don't bring...
We don't need 9 winter coats either. That are just thrown on the ground.
Not this weekend, we won't.
Heck no.
Mesh. Go with a mesh half shirt. Okay. This is going on entirely too long.
Hey.
But that was important to close with. We're back at it next week. When's the next time the list? Does the list change at any point?
I'm going to give it one more.
There'll be one more. Purdue, you can play your way back on.
Uh-huh. And teams can play their way off. More importantly.
Button it up.
We're on the cusp. Best week is...
Steve's favorite week of the year, not this week, next. No, yes.
It starts this week. And you get more days.
When do we do the thing with the clock? Whoops. That's down the road, right?
Excuse you.
I don't know what just happened.
Burped.
I did it?
Yeah.
I think I'm reaching that age where I might just start farting and burping. I can't even control it.
That's not good.
No, it's elderly. That's why we got to get this thing figured out with the lunch tomorrow. Secure the bag for the future. I don't know if I can do it. I'm just, I got Duke to pay for. Apparently my boys are going there.
No, full ride.
Oh, they're going to be scholarship brotherhood members?
Heck yeah.
Now we're talking. Imagine that.
Oh.
Having to abandon the squad for that.
Awesome.
Hey, man, I'd be front row, face painted, right there in the middle of them.
So good.
Doing this thing. That's D and an E, I think, lowercase. Isn't that what that is? That's what the crazies do. See? I can do it. Except my kids. I'll spray paint my thing, wear devil horns, and do that.
I'll be their number one fans.
That'd be awesome. Maryland, act accordingly. You could. I think actually Golden already offered Chucky.
Yeah,
Chucky Bucket's already been offered. He was wearing a Boogie Flan jersey. I see he's like, get the NIL package together and we'll talk. Pretty sure they already did that preemptively last year with all the stuff. All right, stop talking, Scott. Go do something. Go explore the space. Enjoy the week. We're going to go build a snowman, man. Steve, do you want to build a snowman?
No.
All right, we won't.
Son.
Bye.